I'm gonna settle for this at this point. I'm gonna see what happens at the end.
That's the last of the frills, Possum.
The fire's out. Let's go.
Look out! Cannon eddies!
Let me at him. Not too far to the old.
Yeah, I'd ideally already like to have 2,000 at this point, but I can get some from getting these guys here. Basically, I want to have, like, I think around 3,000 is what I had last time going into the sewers. I can deal with having like maybe 2,800 then. See if I can get this snipe. Maybe off a bit. Cool. I didn't think I was actually gonna kill it. All that hits. No idea if that'll hit. I'm guessing that didn't hit. Yeah. God, die already. This is bad. I've not had this go this bad in a long time. I was actually afraid I was gonna die during that. I have a lot less opals than I would really like right now. Oh, I didn't actually expect that to actually hit her. Hello? Talk. I've never had that. Like, actually them just talking back to me casually. Get up the ladder. Ty is not doing anything I'm telling him to do right now, and I'm not liking it. He's not getting opals, he's not keeping combos, and NPCs are talking to me unnecessarily, and he's not climbing ladders. He's being very disobedient.
Well done.
is not that category. I could have grabbed that cog and that would have probably brought me to be okay with opals, but that would have been slow. No, not that way. Yes, that way, I think. I don't even know. It's a slightly different way of doing this area that I'm not used to. Yes, I think. Pretty sure we go down here. Okay, I definitely do not go down this way because I remember actually getting struck there last time, whatever. Well, there's not a significant difference in the time from the path I took. There's a significant difference in the time that it took me to decide on which way to go. That I spent 20 seconds in confusion versus just picking the path and sticking to it. I'm pretty sure this is the only time we actually talk to Steve this entire run. So, say hi.
I've got some Google juice. Do you want some? You don't look old enough. Tell you what, I do have something in my life. I found them while digging up some Google berries. You can have them.
It's just for the opals at the start here. We buy the Infrang after this. And there's like 2 collectibles we don't get, so we have to make up for those 500 opals. So I do the good combo at the start and then also talking to Steve there. I had 5,000 at this point in the test run I did earlier. So I will take this and be okay with it.
G'day, son. That saves me getting one for your birthday, son.
Oh, I didn't hit back. It's one thing to note, we do not do all the second spy chain with the 25 spies around the game. We do not do that. But you do have to do the first spy mission there. Some of the spies are in areas that would require getting multiple other boomerangs. And I guess at some point they've decided that as a rule, which I am totally in favor of. It would kind of make the run almost no different to 95% at that point. In fact, it would actually make it a lot harder because of not getting all the collectibles. We'd be even more short on opals than we already are. Probably wouldn't even be possible to have 9,000 for the Thermo and Lash. Without a lot of grinding. It is technically one of the missions, yes. So I believe in the end you have 43 out of 44 missions. Yeah, personally I agree with that too, because they do count, it's listed as like a number in the missions, but it's also listed on like the total screen as like a thing you collect. So it's kind of in between. Yeah, almost all missions. So the thing is, you could say the same thing for 95% if we were to call it all collectibles, which I'm actually kind of in favor of bringing up as a discussion, but you could say the same thing for boomerangs there, because boomerangs are listed as technically a collectible, but I don't see them as collectibles. I just feel like 95% is kind of a odd name, especially when all my runs finish with 96%, so it's a bit of a lie.
Hello there, Tom.
I saw Rob do that in his run, so I'm replicating it every time I walk on that edge now. 95+%. Sure. I guess that works. The only reason my runs even finish with 96 is because I get the Mega Ring, because it is faster. But even though it's not technically a required thing. Trying to think about like if I'm getting decent opals from these guys or not. I don't really usually focus on it, but since I was a little bit low here, it would be good. One good thing is I do not have to deal with races anymore when I'm doing this. Even though 6 out of 7 races are pretty much free to win, it's still just an annoyance that I don't have to deal with now. And saves a good time there. Like 20 minutes of the time difference here is just from the races alone, seeing as they're all like 3 minutes long. Downside of that is all these like small missions and stuff, seeing as the run's an hour shorter, these small missions costing like 30 seconds suddenly has a lot more weight now. There's not as much time saved throughout the whole thing now. Just because there's less to do. It's a decent reason to care. I don't like bumping on trees here. So Nitroff, where do you stand on 95% versus all collectibles then? Like, I'm curious if you agree with me or disagree with what I'm talking about, like boomerangs and stuff. Seeing as those are also technically collectibles as far as the total screen is concerned. Oh god, glitchless, that's a whole other debate. Kinda glad Taiju doesn't have a whole lot for like glitches and stuff like that. It would just make it a lot more complicated.
Great fruit. Can I stick this landing? Probably not. Alright. I guess so. I was not able to get that earlier. That was a really nice cutscene skip there. That was like perfect. What is he doing? Come on. I was gonna compare like segment, but I realized Patchy Split's actually gonna be longer than it is in 95, just because I'm driving from cargo instead of race number 2. What was that hit? Okay, we're good on opals. The main issue is having 5,000 by this point. Okay, I need to scroll up and see what you said, Nitroff. I couldn't read it during the fight. Right up. Bye-bye.
For a name which either describes what's not in the category or one that says I consider this to be semi-arbitrary, spawned from the desire to have a better speedrun 100%. I mean, that is basically what it is, but... Yeah, see, that's the thing, like, it isn't no rings. The proper wording would be 100% not all rings, which to me sounds pretty silly, but that's what Zoda called it when he did his run, at least, for a console. I am going the wrong way. This is actually technically still a right way, but I actually literally timed this earlier, and it was like 10 or 15 seconds slower, I think. maybe like 7 or 8, but... First run. even know what I want to do with this category, like how far I'd want to take it. There's only 2 runs on PC, and I actually have no idea what the times are like on console. At least in game time, since we can't really compare RTA that much with the loads being different. Tai2 seems to be really consistent with the in-game time, but I haven't exactly put extensive research into it, but I'm pretty sure we tried at one point and looked and saw that the in-game timer actually pauses when you're in areas that are loading, like those in-between gate areas. So in-game time should still be directly comparable between PC and console for Tai2, and I've been doing that, actually. When I was getting close to beating Zoda's times, I was more looking at, not the RTA, since obviously mine will be faster from that just because of loads, but I was looking at what his in-game time at the end was compared to mine. Well, keep in mind, me and Rob were the only 2 people who actually like cared about Tai2 at the time, so that's pretty much the reason why that went through without any major discussion, I would imagine. I'm sure if someone came around nowadays and it wasn't the thing, and someone said, I don't want to grind opals at the end, there would probably be a lot of debate between making it a thing or not. But we were the only ones who cared at the time, and at some point that name just spawned. It sounded better than 100% not all rings, it sounded better to me. So we just stuck with that. Well, if you did, then you wouldn't have read the rules. Because the rules do say in it that you don't have to do that. You could, but you'd be losing time. Swag flip here. Ah, that's the exact opposite of a swag flip. It was a swag 360. over there. I don't get. Sometimes these enemies fall in two here. Sometimes they're more spread out. Don't even think about hitting me. Just follow me over here. Come on. You can do it. That only hit one, didn't it? That's really dumb. Maybe this can get all three of these. Oh my god, this guy won't die. Come on, everyone. Huddle together. Come on. You can do it. This is still only gonna hit. Alright, no. I genuinely did not expect that to actually hit him. I was hoping it would, but I didn't think it would. That mission's gonna be the death of me if I try to actually take this category seriously. So I almost always lose time on that in 95, but...
Be careful, sir. Watch out!
How much does the Frosty Rain cost? Is it 3,000? Pretty sure it's 3. Yeah, I figured it's 2 or 3, maybe 4 at most. I was thinking ahead a little bit. So, if it's 3, then I'll need 8,000 coming up, and I should be on pace for that. I still have 2 missions of rewards left here. It's gonna be one of those runs, isn't it? Where I struggle to actually drop these guys in the right spot, even though I'm hovering over the thing. Sometimes the placement just really acts up for no reason.
Keep an eye on the fuel, sir.
you kidding me? Pick it up. Pick the crocodile up. Thank you.
Keep an eye on the field, sir.
I actually don't know what else you run. Okay, I'm guessing it's gonna be probably only 2,000 for Frosty, just because you don't get any opals, I don't think. Actually, no, you do get some for the oil rig. Pretty sure. Yeah, you do. You don't get any from bosses, but the oil rig is a mission in itself. All I saw about that description was something about 6 items, and then you mentioned 7 items, and I can already tell something's up with that. So, is it like you're required to get it, but it doesn't end up in the inventory at the end, so you still call it 6? Is that basically what that means, or? He has a bit more freedom to do whatever he wants if he's the only one who actually runs it, but there's definitely an argument to be made that it does go beyond that if it's like only the category that no one cares about. There's a lot of people for the game itself, but that sentence was a jumbled mess of gibberish. You hopefully get what I mean. Is he a moderator of the game, or is he just a random runner and he convinced people to name it that? Or is it not even officially named that and he just calls it that separately? Surprised that hit. Thought that would miss. See if I can get this time. Nice. Messed that up when I did it earlier. That was a pretty good oil rig. I know what to do with Buster. Slowly. So now this boss actually takes up more time relative to the overall run than he used to, which is great. I actually don't know like anything about Strider. I feel like I've heard the name maybe a couple times, but I know nothing about it as a game. I don't even know what like style game it is. I can tell it's something recent since you said 2014, but don't even know what like system it is. Okay. Not really my type of thing, but I get the appeal of those for sure. I was hoping he was going to hit that building so it wouldn't get in the way when I hit, but... Okay. So was it like just released around the time of PS4 and stuff when they were still making PS3 versions of stuff, or... I don't even remember the timeline of when those things came out, and if 2014 lines up with that. $30 per second, that's insane. Bouncy ball. That might be the largest. Oh, he missed the boats. The only thing that I actually like makes this fight a little more tolerable is having fun trying to make him destroy as much of the area as possible. And I'm really annoyed that those 3 boats were missed at the last second. Okay, 9,000, yeah, that's plenty. Oil rig gives more than I thought. Okay.
G'day, son.
Oh, it's only 2,000. Wow, that is less than I thought.
Hello, Ty.
Welcome. Bye bye.
I had to think for a second on which one to buy there.
G'day, Ty.
Day toy.
Hey, Ty.
Hey, hey, Ty.
Greetings, Ty unit.
Alright, I will see you, Nitroff. Oh, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be doing grub wrap right now. What was I just stuck on? This is what happens when you run something for the category for the first time. You forget things very easily. I'm not used to doing grub wrap here after Buster. I'm so used to just going right out to the volcano or whatever I usually do first. I think it's volcano usually. No, sheep dip usually and then volcano. Yeah, this is pretty convenient. Sheep dip is a little out of the way, but we do it. It's like the second to last thing. Or technically third to last, but... I really should get in the habit of like trying to split with my left hand or something. That'd be hard to do though, because I'd have to like move the controller in the right spot. But so what I usually end up have to do is I like have to hit triangle to finish the mission and raise my hand over to the split button. And I usually am close to missing. That's a bad angle. I could. That's another thing. Split pedal, but I also say like crisscross a lot, so. And I move. I am also very poor. Anything unnecessary, I am not spending money on right now. Oh, wrong. I was thinking sub 2 for a second. I don't think there's enough appreciation for, like I talk about how great the music in the series is, the music in this mission, or the sub-missions in general, is really awesome.
Those two the man-eaters have me pinned down.
Yes, I'm aware, Rex. That's why I'm here. No, very, very few. There's a lot of boomerangs that you don't need. Like, you don't get the smash ring, you don't get the warp ring, you don't get the flame ring. Actually, yeah, no, we do need the flame ring. You don't get the lash ring. Anything that's used just purely for collectibles, we do not need anymore. There's still a piece.
Pick up all the pipes.
The only other one I'm buying is the Mega Ring, and that's, again, just because it's faster. It makes Ninjas 3 faster, and it makes Outback Oasis way faster. I was hoping that it might have been possible to get the Mega Ring earlier to save a trip to the shop, but no. So you can tell there's been no opal grinding at all, except for the very first mission. All the opals I'm using to buy things are just coming straight from mission rewards directly. And the one Steve at the start. If it was possible to get another 1,000 out of the intro, then probably wouldn't even need the Steves, but it's already hard enough getting 2,000 getting out of there. This is slow. This is not the order I normally kill these guys in, but come on, get out of there. This might work out alright. I plan to do 90% as well. I can't imagine there's a major difference though. I asked in Tai2, but no one responded. I'm pretty sure 80% is probably like the exact same thing as this, except leaving out one mission for each set. Just whatever's the most slow or inconvenient of them, I would imagine. Like leaving out volcanoes, probably something that's done. Just because that does take a decent bit compared to these like small mini games. Maybe leave out Sheep Dip as well. Oh yeah, actually yeah, that too. No training arena things, since those are entirely optional. You don't have to do the first spy mission. I'm just like thinking, I was just thinking compared to this route, at the very end we go past the red star there and go to Sheep Dip, and then backtrack to the red star again. Or unless you just, yeah, when you, that mission, yeah. And not even because that one's long to do, it's just on the route for all missions it's a little bit out of place. You have to drive over there and then drive back to Metal Menace at the end. So I figured it might just be reasonable to just skip it entirely, so you don't have to backtrack, but I don't know, I haven't looked at the route at all. I was just thinking on the spot about it. Do they do the tree rescue for Booney at the very start? because it's pretty slow to walk up there and have to walk all the way back down. You probably don't do Haunted House, because that's optional, I'm pretty sure. And everything else in the first set of missions is pretty much in a row. Except maybe the crocodiles. That could probably be skipped. Okay, so yeah, it's probably crocodiles in the sewers. It's not done, if I had to guess. Unless you do it for opals. I'm not gonna make this. Oh, alright. It might still be faster to jump over that fence and just get the building on the way down, compared to just walking around the fence like that. Yeah, I thought for sure I was gonna miss that. And I would either get hit or it would be just slightly too late. Yeah, normally we have, you do the sewers. I have no idea what gets skipped in the first set of missions then. Maybe training, I don't know. I'm just imagining the fact that I would imagine you probably skip one mission every set. Okay, so it's training you skip. Okay, that makes sense. It's not like the longest thing, but it also only gets 100 opals as a reward, so it's really not worth doing. I would imagine you still need to buy probably all the same boomerangs as this. So giving up a mission that's a little bit faster but only gives you 100 is probably better than skipping like the sewers, which does give you 1,000. Crocodiles need to cooperate. Boomerangs aren't actually hitting them. It's weird. Come on, at least one of you get in there. What was that? There we go. Then don't set it. I'm not gonna make this. Okay. Apparently I'm just making all the cycles today. I'm just used to always getting stuck on that one from getting there. That's interesting that you'd only buy the bunny-ups and stuff, because you definitely need the, yeah, you definitely need the Frosty Ring, at least. For Sulfur Rocks. The volcano lava area, sorta. One of them is optional, but that one's a listed mission. So unless there's a way to jump around without that. I feel like there's definitely at least one other mission that requires a boomerang, but Actually, it could very well just be that you don't do that one in Sulphur Rocks, possibly. I don't know. I'd have to actually remember what missions are in what set. God, this boomerang is so inaccurate. I definitely plan to take a look at 90%, just I'm still mostly focusing on 95 because I can still get like another 2 minutes off of that. At least, if not more. Well, technically I can get like 6 or 7 minutes off, but I basically got a 251 the other night, but it died at the end. I could probably sub 250 and that might be the goal for now. I would have to see what other splits still have any good segments in them or not. I'm very bad at estimating that. Every time I think I have a goal, it's just something else happens. But no, I didn't have enough time to properly do a 95 run tonight. That class still pretty late. Oh my god. I literally, like... I said to myself it's still going to be faster to jump up that way, and I still fell off. I know nothing about TIE 3, actually. Almost nothing, at least. I've seen like a bit of gameplay from it. Nothing more than like 10 or 15 minutes worth, and I've never played it. Doesn't look all that exciting. It looks similar to 2. Has the whole driving around in an overworld area, but it looks like it's a lot smaller. And a lot more kind of action-oriented compared to this. I didn't like what I saw. It just didn't seem like it didn't seem like it was making the best direction. I don't like only having 2 hits getting in here. These things like to drop my jumps a lot. Like that. I definitely pressed the X button. Like, there's no doubt about it, I pressed X. Well before I jumped. I don't need to get the orb, at least. At least the rest of this is, like, normal. I never split for ninjas. Oops. Okay, so I guess this is just skipped, because this is like the only spot I can think of where you actually need the Frosty Ring. So I guess it's just skipped, so you don't have to buy it at all. Oh my god, I cannot believe I survived that. That's a late split for that. I'm actually just gonna skip that one too, actually. What was that? Where was the dive? Is there any health back here? No. Nappa, do you have any idea about this? So, it feels like Ty is faster when he's jumping forward here. I don't know if it's just the camera and the way it moves when he jumps, but it definitely feels like he's like moving faster in the air. So I usually just spam jump, because I figure worst case it's maybe like the same speed. I don't think it's any slower. It At least up to this point, because here you do have to do a bunch of jumps, but... Really? Well, actually, yeah, that makes sense, because this is optional. I was gonna say maybe you skip this too, but... In fact, there's actually only one mission in this entire area that's necessary, I believe. That one's optional, and so is surviving the temple coming up. So I would be surprised if you actually came here at all in any percent, since the only reason you would come here is for that lava area. I will take a look at any percent at some point. TIE Vector. Has that ever been done by anyone? Maybe Rob, but... Hasn't been done before, or is this first time? Surprised I didn't hear anything about that. Oh yeah, Steve % is also something that I have to do at some point. I mean, maybe it has been, but I usually keep up pretty well with Discord stuff. If it was specifically mentioned in Taiwan channel, then I probably might have missed it, just because there's a lot of people who talk there recently, and I don't really follow Taiwan that much anymore. I'm very bad at splitting. These are not things I normally split for in 95, so I'm not used to having to. If it was mentioned in general, then I just casually missed it, but usually I keep up with everything there. Oh, I was actually trying to land on that invisible platform still, because I figured it might be faster. Went right over it. I'll just retime the splits later. so I have something to compare to next time. I'm very curious to see what people do in 80% for the fluffy fight, because I have my own little way of doing it, but it could very well just be the same thing that's already being done. I mean, I can definitely see myself doing more of, but I don't know how seriously I'd actually take it. I wouldn't say I'm, like, only motivated when I can record or anything, but, like, when I felt that my 220-ish was kind of decently strong, and now people have beaten that by, like, another 15 minutes, it's really demotivating. That is exactly what I felt about 95% though, and I've proven that wrong. So I just need to be in the right mood for it, really. I'm definitely not planning on ever probably doing Taiwan any. I don't know. I don't like the Outback strats. I've never tried it, in all fairness, the keyboard mouse stuff. But to me, playing a game like that and like switching controller mid-run doesn't really feel right. I could just lose time from it, but that's like guaranteed time loss or something dumb. I also don't really like the idea of mill skip and things like that, where you have to be good with that. Or you fall, that's like automatically 30 to 40 second loss. I don't know if there's consistent setups for it. It probably is, but... Well, I know it's not 100%, but for 100% I usually do, at least at the time, I did a boomerang strat thing. And that was only because you have to do that for one of the many ways to get some boxes inside. So at that point, just memorizing where to angle the boomerangs at wasn't really that slow. And it was still kind of not really stupid to do instead, in exchange for not having to deal with mill skip. Which I was never at a point where I needed like the time save bad enough that it was important. Only skipping, yeah, that's true. I had trouble with that for a while. I learned it, at least at one point on console, and I had trouble doing it on PC. I don't know if it's changed or anything, or... It just felt like the barrier was like pushing me up more or something. Oh yeah, I remembered to split this time. I have no idea how strong the record run for this is on PC, but I feel like sub 150 is probably doable. I have no idea. His run, like his video of the run was deleted by Twitch, so I wasn't actually able to see how strong it was. I think it was a 151, might have been 53. What's the console record for all missions? Yeah, I thought it was weird. Maybe 151, 202, okay. That makes sense for how loads are. I don't know if it's because of just loads or not, but or if one's just really much stronger than the other. I haven't watched them. Who has the record for that? Is that just Rob or? Or actually, no, it might be Americus. Probably is. Come to think of it. So I feel like I remember him doing more with like 80% of stuff. Oh, Zoda. Okay. I actually had no idea he did anything other than 95%. I thought that was like the only thing he came around to do. Oh my god, I've never fallen from there. I hope this doesn't mess up my strat here. Shouldn't. Fluffy should still follow me, but... Alright, that was my strat. Kind of just getting a double hit there in the middle and then slamming here. Oh my god, double split. That was weird. I'm not very good at splitting properly today. Also, I need to actually fix the split name for saving the car. Because I thought that the alien calls it a car, but he calls it a caravan, which is even weirder. It's obviously not a caravan, it's a spaceship, but... Almost forgot I need to buy the lifter bunyip and Mega Ring.
Welcome. Bye bye.
G'day, son. Bye, son.
Caravan. Fancy footwork there. Oh yeah, it's nice I don't have to deal with that race anymore. For making the cycle earlier. wrong direction. I thought I was in a totally different part of this little mini area. What do you mean, like backlog sorta, like keeping track of what games you've actually completed? I've wanted to do that because I have a huge backlog of stuff I want to play, but haven't actually bothered to. I usually just play the same things over and over. I again didn't split. I will remember the split though. I promise. Yeah, that is good though. What stuff have you played so far? So it takes Dennis about a minute and a half to do this, give or take. He should finish at like 1:45, so I think I have like 30 seconds that I can just put the controller down before I have to pay attention for the split. Darksiders, Dark Souls, Pokemon Let's Go, looks pretty good. Jak 3, I was only really a fan of Jak 1. I didn't really like the direction with 2 and 3, but any day now, Dennis. This doesn't seem right. Where is he? Oh, right then. That took like almost 2 minutes. I don't know if I've wondered if like being far away from it makes a difference. It does almost seem like it like despawns or it makes him go slower if you're really far. Because like, well, you can tell he was still moving, but I had issues 95% where the way I was doing that mission at one point, it definitely took him longer. Going the wrong way. And then I started doing it a different way and he finished faster, but it wasn't a particularly major difference. I used to always think there was a collectible up there. It's just a random like 100 opal bag. It's like not worth doing at all. I've never played any Metal Gear games. Do you want to come back and do more runs? Like, do you want to improve Tai 1? Do you have anything you want to do with Tai 2? Or even Strider again, I guess? That seems like your main game from what you were saying. I don't really think I have a main game. I've just done a little bit of multiple ones, but Tai 2 is probably going to become my main game at this point, just because I actually kind of care about doing all the categories at some point. I need to see like how strong the records are for all these Tai 2 categories, because I wouldn't mind trying to record most of them. It'll really depend. I'm definitely not having any plans to do any more 95 or 100% on console, purely because the racing is so bad. Whereas all these ones that don't do races, I could definitely see myself trying to get console runs as well for. Loads are slower, but there's no dumb stuff at least. The road's still the same. What was that? Oh my god, control the car. BFBB is pretty good. I don't know the run all that much, but I know that it's very interesting. Very fun game to play, casually. I need to make a return to Sly 1 at some point as well. I don't plan to take it too seriously or too majorly, but there's like 20 minutes worth of free time save and free PBs to get in that. Just from new stuff that they found over the last couple of years that I haven't implemented. What about it did you not like? It's just general gameplay. Or the physics are a bit weird sometimes. I think it's very bouncy and floaty, which I'm sure is probably a big part of the speedrun. I know for the SpongeBob movie, it's like a lot of crazy, like taking advantage of damage, momentum, and stuff. Hey, Yogi. Thanks. Congrats on the second place, by the way. That was second, right? Yeah, that was a crazy bop. I don't really follow Sly 1 all that much recently. Like, I had no idea most of the skips recently have been a thing, but I saw the clip, the Mickle bops. Insane. I've never played Bubsy. I know almost nothing about it, actually. That's a common trend you'll notice. If I haven't played a game, it most likely means I know nothing about it. I pay very little attention to things that I don't actually try, even though I know what they are, but... You still want to keep pushing further, Augie? Or... 'cause I think I remember you saying in one of the channels there that, like, your goal was like something by the end of the year, and that PB alone already beat that goal in January, so
Hello, toy.
I would guess you're probably gonna take a break. But I was literally just saying, I don't know if you were here yet or not, but I was just saying I need to come to Sly 1 and just cash in on some free PVs. I have no idea how much I actually want to do with it, but the last time I actually did runs, none of the cutscene new file stuff was found, none of these newer small things were found, and I didn't do some of the strats that were found around the time. So if I actually just properly relearn the category as it is now, I could probably easily get like a 20-minute PV just for free. I think I still only have like a 110 or something. It's pathetic. I've been on pace. I was on pace for much better, but Bentley Skip always screwed me over in the end. So if I just like not be stubborn about Bentley Skip and just take the time loss if I fail it once or twice, I should be set. Usually I just get stubborn and I don't want to give up, and then I end up losing all my time to it. But as of right now, it's hard enough for me to find motivation to do any of this to begin with. And right now, Thai is looking like it's going to become like my actual main game. Even though I've run 4 or 5 things in the past, I haven't considered any of them a main thing, because I played them all pretty equally. But I actually have a lot of interest to do all the categories for Tai 2. And it's definitely like one of my favorite games of all time, so it makes sense. Wow, that wasn't even close. Oh, turn around, thank you. There's definitely some truth to be said that this is kind of a boring run, but if you already like the game casually, then that doesn't matter. This is casually, easily like in my top 5 games of all time. So it's just natural that I would find all of it fun. This obviously has some bad things to it. The races are pretty annoying, but PC, and the PC port, which is what I'm doing here, they reworked the racing system a decent bit with the controls and handling, and it's a lot better. And in general, the minigames, there's not too many really stupid minigames. They're just a little on the boring side. The fun is the 4 or 5 areas that actually have a lot of platforming and collectibles in them. Have you played Taiwan or 2? Or even 3? Or you just know about them? Seen some footage. I'm gonna do something slightly different here. I'm going to get that box over there with one of the frills still alive. Depends on how you define like what makes a speed game better, but I think there is definitely truth to that statement. Tai 2, the run is basically just playing the game casually but fast. Like, there's not really anything majorly special to it. I'm not one to say that like skips and glitches are necessary in a run, but I feel like this doesn't have anything that really makes it stand out all that much. Okay, well I was going to grab this, and I think I'll be fine, but... Alright, guess not. So, the reason I did that is because I didn't know that if the frills hit you, you don't drop the thing. And that was what I was afraid of. So I figured I could just tank one of the hits and keep walking, but I had no idea that they hit that fast. That's ridiculous. This is going to be a really, really dumb time loss. That guy like just slapped me twice, so it was like no time at all in between the hits. Yeah, that's definitely true. Movement optimization and routing itself. Actually, kind of similar to Taiwan. I mean, not Taiwan, Sly 1. Not even Sly 1, I'm saying the wrong word, Spyro 1. Except Spyro 1 has a whole very high skill ceiling with actually good movement tech in it, but I just feel like it's kind of similar in that routing and just actually optimizing movement is where the speed comes from, more than like glitches and stuff. Spyro 1, 120%, I don't, come to think off the top of my head, I don't think it has anything in it that's like this, maybe one proxy, maybe. And it's not even necessary. Whereas Spyro 2 and 3, I mean, self-explanatory, those, you're going out of bounds every 10 seconds in Spyro 2, it feels like. And obviously this is all subjective and it comes down to opinion, so it's not like it has to be exciting to be good. I obviously still enjoy this a lot. But I can still recognize that compared to other games, it's definitely pretty boring of a run. That's my thing. Like, Tai 2 is like the only game that I could actually see myself enjoying doing at a marathon, but I know it would have absolutely no chance of getting in. Absolutely not. If we can't even get Spyro 2 in there, Tai 2 is definitely not. I was honestly kind of surprised when Tai 1 got in. I feel like it definitely has the best chance of all of them, but I was still pretty doubtful that it would. Like, there's stuff I can talk about during these runs, mostly like routing and stuff, but and even like some of the small jumps you do, but like none of them are interesting. Like, they're there, but like anyone who's played the game casually, if I talk about I'm gonna do this jump to cut around this corner, they're all gonna be like, yeah, okay, that's a casual jump though. Like, it would only seem interesting to someone who hasn't actually seen the game before. And that would make a lot of the route boring anyways, because they wouldn't be familiar with the game, so they wouldn't understand any of the explanations. So not even just on gameplay, but like in commentary standpoint, it just wouldn't be a good run. Yeah, I don't watch ESA like at all. I'm obviously aware of it. I have a lot of friends who go to it, do runs in it, but I've never like actually paid attention to it for watching, so I have no idea what's been in it in the past or not. I've been to 4 GDQs and I plan on keep going, and I might consider an ESA at some point, but that would be a pretty big vacation and a very expensive one at that, considering I'm currently about to graduate. I'll probably start working full-time later this year. And if I were to do an ESA, it would be on top of a GDQ, and having enough money to do both in 1 year, while still living in like America and trying to afford things, that's tricky to do. Yeah, I am very low on money right now. ATDQ this year costs a lot more than I thought it was going to. I thought I was going to have like twice as much as I do right now, leaving it. And hours went down at work recently, and I need to figure out what to do about that. Because I have plenty of time during the week. I mean, obviously I have time to be doing these 3-hour things almost every day. I have plenty of time to work each day if I had to. I just have to figure out what to do for it specifically. Because whatever it is, it would be short term. Just until like probably midsummer, and hopefully I'll have something more proper of a job by then. The only reason I would even consider an ESA would be more just for seeing people. Friends who can't come to GDQs because it's too expensive, but they still go to ESAs. Which there aren't that many of. Most of the people that I've wanted to meet, I've met at this point. There's only one or two that haven't, and I think they are planning on GDQ in the next year or two anyways, so. It would be for just seeing Europe. Maybe make like a 2-week trip and do some other stuff.
Keep an eye out for some fuel guns.
More than the actual league event itself. This run most likely will definitely not sub 150, especially because I'm going the wrong direction right now. But I can see it probably sub 150 at some point, because I've lost like 2 or 3 minutes to really dumb stuff so far. And there's really only like 2 missions and then the final boss left. I don't know what to expect for this run specifically though. So I actually timed this earlier. I thought that. So we still end on Metal Menace, that Red Star mission. And then we exit back to the town from there. And it didn't really... So what we do is we come over here to Shape Dip and then backtrack this road to get back up there. And I thought that didn't really seem like it was faster, but... I think it was like 1:40 to drive down here and go back. Whereas it took 1:40 just to walk out from the Metal Menace. So they... And that didn't include any of the driving, so this is definitely still faster. It feels weird doing this mission so late in the run. Where am I going? I'm doing this not in the order I usually do. That was dumb. The grapple hook actually like went in front of me and it made me stop moving.
On your 6.
Buy one. Or just buy a Nier outfit. Just like ruffle up the hair a little bit, make it a little more bushy.
I say, look at all that water.
I say, look at all that water. actually. I only have class 150 to 305 and then I come home. So that's why I was saving for 95% tomorrow, since I'm gonna have a lot of time to kill tomorrow at home. When are you available? Because I might do another all missions first if you're not gonna be around for 95 first. And plus, that way, by the time I start 95, Nitroff would be around to see it. I also might just do something else entirely and not stream, but I might do Clone Hero, I don't know. I'm surprised I hit all of them. Okay, so basically the same as me. So basically as soon as I'm back, you'd probably be also ready. Also, yeah, I'm very surprised at the potential for this category already. Except that was slow. For how, like, sloppy a lot of this run was, for this to still possibly almost sub 150, like... I don't know how long this final segment usually takes me. I know the final fight itself is about a minute, about 2 minutes long, maybe a minute 45. But I also have to do Buster before getting there, and even with 2 hits on, like, Buster still takes a while. So what's comical here is this actually could world record. I don't know if you're still here in Napa, but what's like the actual, like the record time specifically? You said it was like 151, but like a 151 what? Okay. This could happen. I don't know. It'll be close, I think. I've seen like other runners like get him to do the walking around thing that first hit, but I can never get him to. He always stomps instead. Man, this is gonna be close. Where am I leading him to? Over here. So I guess he doesn't spawn in the same spot every time. So satisfying to jump up all the stairs like that. It's not satisfying to get hit though. Okay, I'm gonna call it now that this probably won't record. Nor did I expect it to, but... Because even if the fight takes like a generous minute and a half, I would need to start the fight by like 150-20, and it might. That fight usually is still a bit sloppy, so. Actually, no, it's will be close still. As long as I don't get sucked in by the tornado. Okay, this road record, which is ridiculous that I get that in the first run attempt, but I can still save like 2 or 3 minutes easily. By 3 seconds. Alright then. Alright then.
You heard the man.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about that. I mean, that's probably the easiest road record out there. It's hard to tell how optimized these things are, especially since I didn't see the video of what his run was like. I'm gonna skip this and check the in-game time as well. Yeah, pretty much. When you have games that aren't run a whole lot, they're not very optimized usually.